We're all toys of time, up to the end. No one knows the night, meanwhile the river bends. Lace lies and butterflies flying high above, till these eyes have seen enough. The clock is always ticking.
I signed up for one album, and 16 years later we've done dozens of the bloody things.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to be up for parole, but
Poor Roger.
They keep promising and it never happens.
Yeah.
It's
You
a lot
see-
of records though, isn't it? It's,
Well, it is a lot of records, yes. And he's just far too good at what he does, so
oh dear, oh dear.
to drag him back with the ball and chain.
I tried to get other work. Nobody will have me.
No one will have him, luckily.
But it's
All
about 7 studio albums, 8, something like that. Might even be more than that.
Is it?
Since Genesis Revisited.
How many years before the Master?
Yes, a lot of albums.
A lot of
A
albums.
lot of live albums. A lot of gigs. A
Yeah,
lot of time.
a lot of time.
It'll all be over soon enough.
He's about to resign on camera. Don't, Roger,
Yeah.
I beg you. It's been rather a long time in the making. There were quite a lot of things that were done in between. I started this project, and then there was an awful lot of other things going on in life that got in the way of it. So I started another couple of projects, at least one of which was released, but we've gone back to it, and I think, with the benefit of time, you come back to stuff that you've been working on 3 or 4 years earlier, and you think, the eureka moment, I think I know what that really needs. So whatever it loses in spontaneity, it gains in experience.
Indeed it does. We always say though, do we not, every time we start on an album,
Mm-hmm.
we could do this expediently. We could strip it back and use what we know.
Ah, well, we do sometimes. I mean, we do acoustic projects, don't we?
Well, I suppose. But this was another one. This was going to be, let's get this done. We won't compromise musically, but we don't need hundreds of tracks on every song. But guess what we've got?
Yeah.
Hundreds of tracks on every song. Actually, this isn't the worst case, but there's 100 there already.
100 on this particular track. Really? That little old track, there's
Yeah.
100 tracks. See, that's frightening, isn't it, really? The way that happens. In fact, we were doing a track called Down Street on an album or two ago, and Roger turned to me at one point and he said, I think we're up to 212 tracks on this one so far.
That's ridiculous success.
It is, really, isn't it?
Mm.
I think we're both detail freaks, and and that's what happens. Just because you can, you don't stick the tambourine on the same track. You want to keep it separate so that it comes in at just the right level and just so. But it does make it rather cumbersome. I couldn't do what Roger does. It's not a spectator sport. It's like watching paint dry. It goes so slowly.
Dare you?
Well. But it's fantastic. I mean, it's cathedrals from matchsticks at the end of the day. You've got to be mad to do it.
Well, the important thing is that you've got to discover something for yourself while you're doing it. I mean, when we say, let's use what we know on this tune, there's no fun in that, is there?
Well, exactly.
It doesn't
yes.
imbue that song with anything fresh or new or exciting. You've got to go down wrong paths here, there, and everywhere to find a new one for each song.
I sometimes ask him to explain it to me, and he's doing 72 things at once, and he hasn't really got time to explain to me
Just can't be bothered, really.
Can't be bothered. No,
You don't need to know this stuff.
Right. Yeah. I don't. This track is Till These Eyes. It's sort of half acoustic and half orchestral. I don't normally play 6-string steels, but on this track, very English sounding thing, and we've got string players on it as well. Anyway, it's called Till These Eyes. I'll shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
Shut up for a minute.
I'll play the track, yes.
We're all toys of time, up to the end. No one knows the night, meanwhile the river bends. Lace lies and butterflies flying high above, till these eyes have seen
it's real string players. There are 3 real string players. Roger all very carefully placed the mic in one position for one take and then move it so that it sounds like a different player in another position. So we're creating that illusion all the time, the size of an orchestra, but with a handful of players who.
Well, it's down to the player as well, isn't it? Because Christine in particular would say, well, I could play it like somebody else. Different techniques, different fingerings, different strings. It sounds like a different player.
It is actually a gorgeous string arrangement that Roger came up with for this one. It does sound really good. I lie awake thinking about it, thinking, it's really good, that bit where the vocals stop and the string players take over.
Lie awake wondering whether you should pay more, perhaps, because it's that good.
At all, in fact. Yeah.
I'm guessing that doesn't keep you awake, no?
Roger's socialist leanings
Oh dear.
coming to the fore here. But
yeah, so we do a pucker string arrangement, I guess, dots on paper and all of that, as if it was going to be a band of 20 or 40 or whatever the budget might extend to, string orchestra. But one at a time, so they end up sounding kind of like this. And another take of the same thing. And the same lady, bless her, on viola. And Richard on cello. And Dick Driver, finally, on this extraordinarily unwieldy instrument.
it's huge, yeah. Coming up these stairs with that huge big boat in tow, it's amazing. But they're all great players, and
and then you end up with layers and layers of them. And it sounds a little bit like this.
things are done out of sequence, so we tend to start with a very exciting thing called a click track a lot of the time, which is just a metronome, and without that there wouldn't be an agreement between everybody, much as it would be wonderful to have everyone, thousands in the same room.
It would be much better to stop at the click track, wouldn't it?
Well, often,
Yes.
yes.
We'd have no mix issues.
Right.
We'd deliver on budget and on time.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
They'll get to like it eventually.
Well, I think there are things that are more important than schedules, because you've got to live with an album for life, and at the end of the day, no one applauds you for finishing on time, merely how good the thing sounds at the end of the day.
If it was just a click track though, you'd be able to time eggs and things to it.
Well, you would.
It'd be a more useful product.
Then we'd be releasing cookery books, wouldn't we?
You really should.
You could be Delia Smith and I could be... Well,
Oh,
actually, I
get to be Delia.
Well,
yeah, thanks.